everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Chanel in the City. I'm your host, Chanel Omari on iHeartRadio. We have a special guest here with us today. He is a legendary basketball player, one of my favorites, and he has a new movie that's out that we're all loving, Blackjack, the Jackie Ryan story, based on his life. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Jackie Ryan over Zoom. How are you?
All right. How's everybody doing out there? Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn in the
Chanel
house.
And Jackie are from Brooklyn.
That's why I was telling Jackie, guys, that I'm originally from Brooklyn, which a lot of people don't know. I'm a Brooklyn girl at heart, as you could tell, the hoarse, raspy voice. How you doing? So, Jackie, talk to us about this incredible movie. First of all, you've had an incredible life story. You've had an incredible career in basketball in general. I feel like you're you represent the underdog that goes through struggles in life and the real kid from your local town who wants to make it. Talk to us about why you decided to make this movie.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn in a middle-class neighborhood, cops, firemen, construction workers, longshoremen like my father. 5 kids in my family. I was second oldest. It was a great neighborhood. Right around the corner was the basketball court. It started with my older brother. He's 4 years older than me. He was one of the better guys in the park. And I saw all the love and respect and the oohs and ahs that he received. I wanted to be like my older brother. So I said, Randy, teach me how to play. So he did. And I fell in love with basketball like you wouldn't believe. Morning, noon, night, in the rain, in the snow. I would shovel the snow. And when I was better than all my friends, he said, you're not playing with your friends anymore. You're playing with my friends. They were 16. I was 12. I'm like, I ain't playing with your friends. I'm going to get killed. When I was killing all his friends, he said, we're not playing at this park anymore. We're going to the more competitive parks. I said, I ain't going to those parks. I'm used to playing at my park. But he opened my eyes, got me out of my comfort zone to go seek the better guys, the older guys. And that's how you're going to get better. So I did that. And that's how I met Danny one time. I rode into his park and played, but I did that with all the parks. I would just get on my bicycle with the basketball tucked away in the bicycle, and I would just go to all these parks. And after I was killing everybody in Brooklyn, I said, let me see how good I really am. Let me go to this park, West 4th Street in the Village. That was known as the best. So I rode my bike over the Brooklyn Bridge, and I went there and got off my bicycle. I was the only white guy in the park. And when they were down one end, I just went to the other end and dunked the crap out of the basketball. And when they went down the other end, I did the same thing on the other side. And I remember my brother from another mother, I know him 35 years, Sherm Ice, yells out, uh-oh, we got a white boy dunking. Anyway, I got on the next game when there was 20 people waiting, but I was able to get on the next game, and it's been heaven ever since. I love that park. I even have the logo tattooed on my leg. Even if I don't play, I love going there. It's my backyard, home away from home. All my old buddies, all the young kids know me and respect me. So I love going there.
That's so amazing. So now you and Danny A, which Danny A was on our Instagram live. He shared a really cute story of you two meeting when he was 16 years old. Talk to us about why you decided to make the movie with Danny A specifically, why, you trusted him to be the director of this film, which is an incredible film. What's the message what is the message you're trying to relay to the audience?
Okay, well, a two-part question. Let me talk about Danny. This is a long time in the making, 15 years. I know in the beginning, it was Justin Timberlake. And I'm not supposed to talk about Justin Timberlake, but I'm dropping the name because it's Justin Timberlake. It's all about Greg. And Greg Finley did an unbelievable job. We're brothers for life. I am so happy. I mean, he nailed it. He really did. He nailed it. But, you have Danny. Danny's passions are basketball and making movies. So this was perfect for him. If there was no Danny, there'd be no movie. He was passionate about this and he got it done. As I heard a few years ago, Danny gets things done. He makes movies. So, and he's a great guy. And he loves basketball. So, and me and Greg stayed at his house while they were filming, before the premiere. And we had the greatest time. We played basketball every day, all day long. We didn't play any games, played horse, which was a blast. And he's so competitive, Danny. and I was doing these trick shots. He was going out of his mind. Me and Greg had the ball in our face, and we were like watching Danny go out of his mind. But it was great. And, Danny was so generous. He took us out every night. I mean, it was a great trip. I'll never forget the basketball stuff, the horse games. But so Danny made the movie, and the movie is a story about redemption. For me, it was my life is like redemption through failure, finding your purpose in life, and becoming a leader. When they did the thing on Netflix, the name of the series is Losers. Okay, that's harsh, but it's all about like the agony of defeat. Finding it's the agony of defeat, and wait, there was two other things I forget, but agony of defeat was finding your purpose and becoming a leader. And that's that. And what I want to share with this movie is I want to be able to go out and I already talk to kids. I do school assemblies all the time where I speak to kids, but I want to talk to adults about, it's never too late to find your passion. You're never too old. And, I think I've got a story to tell because I lived it. I didn't turn my life around till I was 37. Thank God someone discovered me and I became a Harlem wizard. And that's what changed my life.
I love that. The message of the movie, I was saying that like we all can relate. It's important for the audience to hear that because a lot of people think that they can't make their dreams happen if somebody tells them no, or if they go through a struggle or a mental health issue. What is your advice to people who are performers in the industry and are getting let down and are being told no? What would you say to them?
Man, I screwed up so much and I've blown so many missed opportunities that you just got to keep moving forward. There's going to be obstacles. Life throws curveballs. Sometimes you can dodge, get out of the way. Sometimes they hit you right in your face and you got to fight through it. Just recently, 5 years ago, I needed a knee replacement. I didn't want to get a knee replacement. I watched the video. I'm like, they're not cutting my leg off. I'm not doing it. But after talking to people, they said, Jack, if you get it done, you're going to be able to run in 8 or 9 months. I said, if I can run in 8 or 9 months, I'm playing basketball. Okay. So fix that. Greatest thing I ever did. I'm here now. I'm playing basketball in a half an hour with all my buddies. The other thing is a valve replacement. Okay. I was born with a bicuspid valve and later on in life, they shrink up and you have to have them replaced. My brother had it done 6 years ago. He had to get cracked open. I was able to, they just started doing for younger patients, going up your legs and doing it. So, I had a choice to do it or not to do it. So I was like, as long as you're not going to crack me open, I'm doing it. I did it. In 15 days, I was back playing basketball and I can breathe. That thing was so bad. It was closed 60%. Okay. And now I've got 100% blood flow. So obstacles, stuff is going to pop up, whether you like it or not. You got to deal with it. You got to fix it. You got to move on. You can't say, oh, I need a knee replacement. I'm just never going to play basketball again. Oh, I need a heart valve replacement. No, you got to, especially at my age, 59, you got to go to the doctors. You got to get your checkups, your prostate, your colon, whatever it else might be. You got to go because you can fix it and you can keep moving forward. So there's always going to be obstacles. Even me, 59, I got an obstacle now. I perform at schools every day, right? So I am doing a few outdoor things, communions now that all been moved from May to now and birthday parties and stuff, but it's not like it used to be. So I'm trying to reinvent myself again and be like the Tony Robbins of basketball. I've got a team that's helping me and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to dive into that and I'm going to do it because like my friend Jerry says, he said, Jackie, you got so much content and the way your personality is. These guys that are speaking, some are good, some are not, but even as the ones that aren't so good, they're talking about something that never really happened to them, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I'm going in that direction now. I'm not giving up just because there's no schools and there's no gatherings. I'm going to find a way to make money. And doing this, I'm a ham. I love the camera. I've got a story. I want to tell it. And most of all, I want to help people.
It's incredible. Let's go back to also the main actor that acts as you in the movie, Jackie Ryan, Greg Finley. What did it take for him to really nail the character? Did he spend a lot of time with you? Did he really breathe and eat the character, because it seems like you guys are identical. For real, he really did nail the part.
Yeah. So right off the bat, we started talking. He started asking questions. Right off the bat, before I spoke to him, he watched my documentary on YouTube. He watched all my other stuff on YouTube, my basketball performing, my interviews, all that stuff. So right off the bat, and then constantly talking to me. Then we finally met at West 4th Street with Danny, and we shoot the shit. And then just if he had any questions, he called me. I gave it to him, and he nailed it. He nailed it. He got rid of that Boston accent, and he got a pretty good Brooklyn accent. People are freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, that's your long lost son. You need a DNA test."
Yes,
and people are freaking out how he's so similar. The resemblance is crazy.
Were you part of the casting process? Now, did you have authority, or did you say, you know what, Danny, I want to really authentically cast the girlfriend, Ashley Greene? We have Michael Rappaport as the coach. We have a great cast. David Arquette plays your father. Talk to us about that process.
Danny got everybody, but when it came to me, he showed me film on the different guys that were auditioning. And some looked good, some didn't look so good. And then he said, "Jackie, we found somebody. We shut it down. We found Jackie Ryan." And then I saw his tape, and I'm like, "That's a handsome devil, like I used to be." And that was it. Then I talked to him, and I met him, and I was real happy. Yeah, he did great. He really did great.
Talking about handsome, you still look handsome, and you look really young. What's your secret? Basketball? I still play basketball. I love basketball, by the way.
I go to the gym twice a day. I still play competitive basketball 3 times a week.
Wow.
And I'm happy.
Happiness.
I have a beautiful daughter who's thriving in basketball and soccer. She's a junior in high school this year, and everything's great. The only thorn in my side is my ex, who still gives me digs.
Well, love talking. By the way, exes are not right. They're not easy. But talk to us about, at what point in your career, in your life, in the movie, did you say, you know what, I'm not going to give up no matter what people tell me, no matter what the obstacles are. I am not letting this give up. What was that point?
Well, I know exactly when the point I kept spiraling down. In my mid-30s, my mom was helping me pay the rent. My brother and sisters got together with my mom and said, "Mom, you got to let him go. You can't help him anymore." Then it was that New Year's Eve. I had suicidal thoughts and called my sister. She said, "You need to call Father Fonte." I did, left a message. He never called me back. You would think that's it. 5 months later, I was at a basketball tournament, spinning the basketball on my thumb. And somebody came up to me, the coach that brought me down there, and said, "Hey, that's crazy. How do you do that?" I said, "Watch this." Showed him some basketball tricks. He says, "I can get you a tryout with the Harlem Wizards." I put my arms out. I said, "I'm white." He goes, "No, the way you can play ball and do those basketball tricks, I'll get you a tryout." One thing led to another, and I became a member of the world famous Harlem Wizards in June of 1997. I was 37 years old. When this happened, it just clicked. I knew it. I prepared for this my whole life. I was a class clown, got thrown out of every classroom I've ever been in. Always been a good basketball player, and I've been spinning basketball since I'm 8 years old. What it didn't really click to me until about a year later. I'm performing out of school, and a nun came up to me because I was spinning basketballs off the kids' fingers and tickling them, making them laugh, whatever. The other guys are on the court warming up before the game. I'm spending time with the kids, and she said, "You're doing God's work. You're making children happy." And I was just like, "What?" I was just having fun with the kids. Got back to the hotel, called my mom. "Mom, you're not going to believe it. A nun told me I'm doing God's work." "Oh, that's so great, Jackie." My mom passed 6 months after that. In my mom's eulogy, my sister Suzanne said one sentence that mom would have said to each and every one of her kids. When it came to me, "Jackie, keep doing God's work. Make the children happy." And that's exactly what I do every single day. I'm in the schools, making them smile and inspire them. I get to hear the laughter of children, see them smile and inspire them. And nobody's got a better job than me. But I just need to get back to the schools.
You need to get back to those schools. Yeah, those kids need you. This generation does need a Jackie Ryan story, because we need to be inspired that when we're let down, we can still get back up, and that it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the rope. There's still hope. Why do you think, on that note, it's so important in the movie, Ashley Greene and Greg Finley's relationship, their characters, your girlfriend, Jackie Ryan, why is that love relationship so important to tell that story?
Because it was, I went out with Jenny 3 different times. Went out, broke up, went out. The second time we broke up, she said, do something with basketball. You've done it your whole life. You're good at it. You're great at it. Do anything, coach. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Lo and behold, I became a Harlem Wizard. And my first halftime show was at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. And I go out there and I nail it, right? All my brothers and sisters are there. And I'm coming up the stairs, ready to see my family. And who's standing there? Jenny. She's standing there talking to my family. She just happened to be at the game, the New York Liberty game at Madison Square Garden. So she once told me I'm a non-person. I don't exist. I didn't have a credit card. I didn't pay taxes. I didn't have insurance, all this. So I saw her. I was like, 1 second. I went over to my backpack. I got my wallet out. I was like, look, I got a credit card. Look, I have car keys. I have a car. I'm a person. I said, you were right. I did something with basketball. She goes, I know. I saw you last week. I saw you on the Today Show last week. I was on the Today Show spinning basketballs off of who's the main thing? Al Roker and is it Katie?
Yeah. Katie Kirk?
Yeah. Katie Kirk. Yes. And the other guy that so funny. I forget his name. Matt Lauer. Put the baseball cap on his head. The ball was spinning on his head. Then I went behind him and pulled his ears out. Al Roker was loving that. I used that picture on Instagram when the scandal went down.
You gave him a taste of his own medicine before his time.
Well, yeah, they said he was. That's why Al said he's the biggest ball buster. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So. Well, that's amazing. So because that love story is definitely something that stands out in the movie. Just the fact that she's always encouraging him, the character, to move forward and to keep doing what you're best at doing. And I think we all need that in our lives, right?
She saw that before it happened. She saw that, do something with basketball.
Yeah. And that's what I think we all need in our lives. We need someone who's supportive and someone that we're going to date. I mean, how important do you think it is for somebody to be supportive that you're dating? Is it important? Is it not important?
Of course. Very important. Yes, of course. If you have someone that doesn't care or, that puts you down or whatever, that's not helping you.
Right.
You need somebody supportive.
Who was your greatest influence in basketball and in life?
My brother, Randy. Yeah, he treated me great. He took me everywhere. He was the king of our neighborhood. He was the most successful guy in the neighborhood. He was a great basketball player. Everybody loved him. He was so generous. And yeah, he was great. I'd go wake him up 8:00 on a Saturday morning. Now, let's say, he's 21 and I'm 18. Randy, wake up. The park is packed. Everybody's there. He's getting home, 4:00 in the morning out with his buddies and all that. It's like, come on, Randy, it's packed. He'd wake up. He'd come outside. It's drizzling. We'd go to the park. There'd be nobody there. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, all right, let's play one-on-one then. But anything to get him to the park. So, I wanted to play basketball with my brother.
That's amazing. Do you have a favorite part of the movie that you'd like to share with our audience that,
Of course, the ending credits. When it shows me and my daughter and she's following in my footsteps and she performs with me.
I'm going to cry. That is so beautiful. That's incredible that she did follow in your footsteps. Was that on purpose? Was that something you pushed or you?
I never expected it. I thought for sure I was going to have a boy and he was going to do everything right and make it to the NBA. They put a girl in me and I just went, oh my God. And within weeks I was spinning a basketball over a crib. It got to a point where I'd take a little finger, spin it on a finger. I'd come home at night. She'd crawl over, Papa, and put her finger up in the air. And then when she was like 10, 11 months, I taught her to squeeze a pen. And I would spin the basketball on the pen and she would spin it all by herself. Then I'd come home and she'd bring the pen, Daddy. And I'd spin the ball on the pen. And then she went from dribbling 1 basketball to 2 basketballs to 3 basketballs and just all different routines. And we had a great father and daughter act for years doing NBA and college halftime shows and did many TV appearances.
That's incredible that you could share that bond with your kid.
Yeah.
And, they could share it with you. Do you feel that, the movie was really made authentically based, now that you look at the movie, do you feel like proud of it and say, wow, this is really a description of my life?
Well, to be honest with you, it was very hard for me to watch in the beginning because I had to see the moron that Jackie Ryan was. And I turned it off. I called Danny and I said, Danny, I can't watch this. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I can't watch this. You have to watch it to the end. And I didn't. I went to bed. That's how upset I was about seeing the type of person that I was. All the everything that happened there is not true, but it was the type of person that I was. Selfish, self-destructive, womanizer, didn't give a shit, partying, just anger, everything. And so I watched it in the morning and I didn't really like it. My family watched it and they're like, Jack, it's not that bad. And then when the movie came out, all the positive messages to me, to Greg, to Danny, that I like it now. It's, you got to tell a story. I was who I was and I changed.
It's a great movie. Congratulations. Where can everybody follow you, Jackie?
My Instagram is BlackJackRyan21. I am Jackie Ryan, and you are listening to me on Chanel in the City.